All Super Mario fans are counting down the days until the release of the plumber's new movie. But what if we told you that the beginning of the movie has completely leaked through the latest trailer, Rosalina? Trailers bring together exciting scenes from a movie to grab people's attention and, of course, give an idea of what's going to happen in the story. What Illumination didn't tell you is that almost all of the scenes shown in the Super Mario Galaxy trailers come from the very beginning of the movie, and if we put them together like puzzle pieces, we can know exactly what the first minutes of the film will be like. At least, that's how it seems, and you'll probably end up agreeing with us, especially because we're going to use both Super Mario Galaxy games, along with a few other Mario games that the movie will reference, as a base to understand where each scene fits into the timeline. There would be no way to start this chronology without beginning with the scene where Rosalina is sitting down with a book in her hands, about to tell a story to the Lumas. This was shown in an exclusive video focused on the character, which makes a very direct reference to the ending of Super Mario Galaxy 2, when it's revealed that the entire adventure we played was a story that already happened, and that Rosalina is now telling to the Lumas. If Illumination were to adapt this moment literally, then this scene would only happen at the end of the movie, but the Super Mario films are not completely faithful adaptations. Illumination respects the games, but it does change a few things. After all, Mario used his cat transformation before the Fire Flower in the first movie, even though his fire transformation is much older in the games. Not to mention that, if this really were the final scene of the movie, it wouldn't have been shown in a promotional video. Following that logic, it makes much more sense for this Rosalina scene to be the very first one in the film. It already introduces a new character and shows that the story is going to focus on space. But this is just the beginning of the beginning. We're going to tell you everything we know about the start of Super Mario Galaxy, the movie.
You know what's starting. It's another awesome Cinewave!
Mission. After Rosalina begins telling the story from the book, we'll see the scene of Mario and Luigi traveling through the desert to fix a pipe inside a temple. This is a great opening scene for the movie. It shows that the two of them started living a life full of adventures after the events of the first film, and that they don't stay only in the Mushroom Kingdom, traveling to other kingdoms just to help out. Another detail that indicates this happens very early on is that they're apparently just doing another regular job. Neither of them is heading to that temple with any bigger goal than fixing a broken pipe. If this scene happened in the middle of the movie, they would be going there to fulfill some objective related to the main story, which doesn't seem to be the case. It seems that the main reason this scene exists is to make Mario and Luigi meet Yoshi, one of the most beloved characters in the entire franchise. And you'll notice that the little dinosaur shows up in a few other scenes that also look like they're from the first minutes of the movie, so there's no way this temple scene happens too late. Star Festival. A very important part of the Super Mario Galaxy game's story is the Star Festival, an event in the Mushroom Kingdom that celebrates the passage of a comet that crosses the sky once every 100 years. What nobody knows is that what's passing through the sky isn't a comet at all, but Rosalina's Space Observatory. The thing is, this festival happens right at the beginning of Super Mario Galaxy, and there's no real reason for that to be changed in the movie, since this is where the conflicts begin. This will happen shortly after Mario and Luigi's mission, and they'll arrive at the festival with their new friend, Yoshi. The trailer even shows Toad meeting the dinosaur in the middle of the event, and he doesn't seem too happy about Yoshi being included in the group so quickly. Yeah, it looks like a certain mushroom might end up feeling a little jealous because of Yoshi. And if you're also super excited to see Mario's dinosaur in action, leave a comment down below with #Yoshi. Outer space. Just like in the game, something is going to happen to interrupt this celebration. In the game, what happens is that Bowser invades the event and kidnaps Peach's castle with her inside. But we don't think things are going to play out that way here. It looks like, at least at the beginning, Bowser Jr. is going to be the main threat. So does that mean he's going to show up here, right? Not exactly. The most likely scenario is that the robot that goes after Rosalina in the first trailer is also responsible for invading the festival. You can tell that the voice coming from it sounds similar to Bowser Jr.'s, who is probably controlling the robot from afar. In other words, before that scene, he could show up at the Star Festival and do something really bad. Our guess? We think the robot will kidnap Princess Daisy. Her presence in the movie hasn't been officially confirmed yet, but she is the princess of the Desert Kingdom and, well, Mario and Luigi will be traveling to the desert right before the Star Festival. On top of that, the first trailer showed this robot trying to kidnap Rosalina, who is also considered a princess. In other words, Bowser Jr. must be going after all the the princesses for some reason. The important part is that, after getting what he's looking for, the robot will escape into space, but Peach and Toad will go after it, which will result in that scene of the two of them flying into space. As for Mario and Luigi, they'll most likely stay in the Mushroom Kingdom at Peach's request, to keep the kingdom safe while she's gone. Bowser. That's when we'll finally see the opening scene from the first trailer, where Bowser, still shrunken and serving his prison sentence, is painting a picture until he's called by Mario and Luigi. It's not clear why the plumbers went to him in the trailer, but based on everything we've analyzed so far, it becomes clearer. While Peach and Toad are off adventuring in space, Mario and Luigi will want to find out whatever they can about the festival invader, and will interrogate Bowser, believing that he has some involvement in all of this. In this case, Mario will be the one who suspects Bowser. After all, the scene we saw shows that the main character still doesn't trust Bowser, while Luigi has formed a certain friendship with him. Bowser Jr. We believe that Bowser himself really isn't directly involved in what happened, and that his son is doing all of this on his own. In fact, it's very possible that the next scene in the movie is the one where Bowser Jr. invades the castle with the intention of freeing his father. Besides the kid, only Mario and Luigi appear in this scene, maybe because Peach and Toad are in space while all of this is happening. This would show that Bowser Jr. could be even more threatening than his father. While the older Bowser is a danger because of his raw power, Bowser Jr. would be the smarter one, using a robot to invade the festival in order to lure Princess Peach away, making it easier to invade her castle and free Bowser. After all, it's better to fight two trained plumbers than to fight two trained plumbers and an even more highly trained princess. And it's very likely that Bowser Jr. manages to take his father with him. He might even take the rest of Peach's castle the same way Bowser does in the game, since the sky behind the castle in that scene looks a bit strange. The clouds seem to be moving in a way that suggests the castle itself is rising. And if you're not subscribed yet, you know what to do. Click and hit the bell so you don't miss any videos. Peach's fight. Meanwhile, we'll see Peach and Toad venturing through space, at least until a moment when everything goes wrong and they're forced to split up, which would explain the incredible fight scene featuring Peach that appears in the trailers. In those scenes, we don't see the slightest sign of Toad, as if the two of them were in completely different places. We don't know exactly how this will happen, but the little mushroom will definitely end up getting separated from the princess. It's possible they run in opposite directions, or that Toad gets caught in a trap. Regardless of the reason, Peach will have to fight alone against several enemies, and that will deliver one of the best battle scenes in the movie. As for Toad, somehow he'll end up in a completely different place and will meet up with Mario and Luigi after they fail to stop Bowser from being freed. If you're wondering how that reunion is going to happen, relax, we'll explain it. Mario and Luigi in space. Remember when we talked about there being a good chance that Bowser Jr. would take not only his father with him, but also Peach's castle as well? The castle should end up flying off the planet after that, and that's how we think the plumbers will reach space. They'll escape from the castle right after it breaks through the clouds and somehow will manage to reach another nearby planet. We know they're going to end up going to space sooner or later because, wait, do we really need to remind you that the movie's title is Super Mario Galaxy? Just kidding. What really confirms this is a video featuring a scene from the movie that shows Luigi, Yoshi, and Toad together in a more high-tech location where there are even rockets. Anyone paying close attention will have noticed that this looks a lot like one of the movie's posters where we see Mario staring at a planet. The detail is that rockets can be seen launching from that planet, and they're identical to the ones from the place where Luigi, Yoshi, and Toad are, proving that they're on the same planet shown in that poster. Baby Mario. One of the most incredible moments in the second trailer is the scene where we see Yoshi and Toad with two babies who look a lot like Mario and Luigi. This scene becomes even more amazing when we realize that those two are probably Mario and Luigi themselves, just transformed into babies. It's a clear reference to the game Yoshi's Island, where Yoshi has to protect Mario when he was still a baby. But of course, this scene from the trailer isn't a flashback to when Mario and Luigi were babies, especially because Toad is there with Yoshi, which means the plumbers are going to be turned into babies. That should happen after they reunite with Toad, precisely because the mushroom is there. The most likely scenario is that Kamek, Bowser's magical partner, shows up and turns the Mario brothers into babies. We've got to thank the villain for giving us this fan service.
It's almost over, but until then, you can stay with us. There are 2 super fun videos waiting for you. Thanks, and see you next time.